talked a lot about Bobby Brink and Brink specifically in the pregame and over the last couple of shows.
Well, yeah, he's been sitting.
He's sitting.
Back in the lineup tonight.
What does he have to do to get back in the lineup? Team low, 11:06 tonight. Now, I expect him to remain in the lineup, as we said earlier.
3 shots on goal.
3 shots.
He did some things.
He did some stuff. Is it just in a tight game, John Tortorella simply doesn't trust him? Like, is that what it comes down to with Brink in the ice time?
Well, from a defensive standpoint, sure.
Exactly.
Especially given the fact that by the time the third period rolled around, it became abundantly clear this was a 1-goal game where they probably weren't scoring another one.
If we don't get a shutout, we will not be winning this game.
Right.
That was very much what it looked like out there tonight.
It absolutely
We need to
looked
allow 0 goals.
Yeah. So, I think it is probably that simple. That said, he just scratched him for what? 3 straight games?
3
straight games? He's clearly not that happy with him.
Yeah.
And when you're not that happy with a guy and you shorten your bench to go with your best performing players, unless the guy you're not happy with really opened your eyes over the first 2 periods, you're probably not going to be getting too many shifts. I don't think this is terribly concerning. Like, this is just John Tortorella. I thought Brink had a pretty decent game. I like that line. I like the Farabee, Lawton, Brink line. I thought they had some good shifts. They also had a couple shifts where they got hemmed in. There was that 2+ minute long shift in the second period.
2.5 minutes they were on the ice.
Long shift. And look, some of that is because it happens. It's hockey. Some of that is because none of those 3 guys are plus defensive forwards.
No.
Brink has a lot of work that he still needs to do. Farabee is off and on. Like, sometimes he'll make really good defensive plays, and sometimes he will just do things where you're like, what were you thinking? And Lawton is a better winger than center.
The way Farabee was developing at one point, and kind of the way the scouting reports read when they drafted him in the first couple of years, is his off and on defensive play like surprising? I just thought he was going to be a much better 2-way player than he is.
I mean, it's surprising based on what I saw from him as a draft prospect, but it's
been a while.
We've now seen him for what? He became an NHLer in 2019. I've watched him for long enough that, like, I'm not expecting him to turn into a Selke contender anytime soon because we have a large enough sample of him not being all that great defensively.
It's just, like, I expect, especially for a young player, like, defensive inconsistencies. Just that now he's making that transition from young player to prime age player. I thought there was maybe a little bit more there than that. And listen, he made a great defensive play in the third period to score the empty net goal.
He does make good defensive plays sometimes.
It's just
that
still,
he also is involved in breaks.
Yeah, it's just still he's a defensively inconsistent guy, but that's why he's on your third line right now. And
I think he can get better. Yeah. Like, guys get better, but look, here's the point I'll make about defensive play. Sean Couturier, Tyson Forrester, even Jet Luchenko, you could tell from the get-go they were going to be real good defensive players. If it didn't pop, if the defensive instincts didn't pop for Joel Farabee in the first 2-3 years, like, he can get to the point where he's maybe fine defensively, but I don't think he's ever going to be great defensively.
Which wouldn't be that big of a deal if he got back to scoring.
Yeah, if he was back to scoring, at a 30-goal pace.
Exactly.
You don't have to be good defensively at all.
No, you got to do the other thing, though, bud.
Got to do the other thing. And he did tonight. I actually, comparing him to Forrester, because the Forrester goal for me was more about he needs something good to happen for him to get out of his own head, because the rest of his game has not been that good.
Yeah.
The Farabee goal, to me, he had already been doing good things. I thought he had a low-key, really strong game on Sunday, one of the few Flyers who did. And I thought tonight he was doing good things. I thought that line, the Lawton Brink line, it was good. He needed a goal to give himself the long-awaited pat on the back from the hockey gods of, I'm getting rewarded finally for the fact that I'm playing better.
That's fair.
That's more why I was happy about his goal, not because I think he needs a full-fledged reset. I think he might have already gotten that full-fledged reset, and he's already back on the upward trajectory. He just needed something to make him feel good that, like, this is all worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all silly like the mayor.